Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video we shall be discussing about a question from IIT JAM which appeared in the year 2019. Right? Now this is a numerical answer type question and it is of 1 mark. It says that you are to calculate the volume of the solid bounded by the surfaces. Now this is one surface that is given to you. This is another surface, and by surface we are talking about that in three-dimensional space. So we have these two surfaces and two planes. One is z is equal to 0 and z is equal to 2. So we are to calculate what is the volume of the solid which is bounded by these four surfaces. So here in this case we are to first see what is the solid which is bounded by these three surfaces. So step 1 as always is to visualize. For visualization here I am drawing this three axis. One is the z axis, one is x axis and one is y axis. So now you are been given that z is equal to 0, so this is one plane. So let me draw it like this. Z is equal to 0. Here the value of z is 0, so that means our plane is this one. In this direction also, in this direction also. So the plane which is passing through z is equal to 0 for all values of x and y, so this would be this plane. For z is equal to 2, so here we have the value of z as 2. Say here is the value of z as equal to here is 0, here we have 2. So therefore another plane which would be passing through this would something be like this. So this would be another z plane, right, where z is equal to 2 for all values of x and y. Next, these are two planes. Now let us see what is this surface. X is equal to 1 minus y and the surface x is equal to y square minus 1. So if you look at this curve, so this is what x is equal to 1 minus y square. So you could rearrange it like this: y square is equal to 1 minus x. So now this is, if you see that in 2D without the z axis, so it would be the left parabola having vertex at, this is the left parabola, or you could also write this to be y square is equal to minus x minus 1, where we have vertex at the point equal to x is equal to 1. So this is a left parabola whose vertex is at the point x is equal to 1. So suppose this is the coordinate 1 here. So let me draw the negative x-axis also. So this would be the negative x-axis, this would be the negative z-axis and this would be the negative y-axis. So accordingly our parabola would be what? Left parabola if we ignore z-axis. So that means if we are in talking about only the x and y plane, so that would be just the simple parabola which is passing through this point, right? But now because this is a surface, so that means z would also vary for each of these surfaces. So that means for each value of z we would have something like this, then we would have something like this, and so on. So ultimately you will have a surface in the shape of this parabola. So it would be this surface. Right? In a similar manner we will have the surface corresponding to this another plane. This is, you can rewrite this as y square is equal to x plus 1. So therefore this would correspond to right parabola if we ignore the z-axis, and similarly it would have vertex at x is equal to minus 1, right? So suppose this point is minus 1, so accordingly our vertex here would be this one. So our parabola, if you ignore the z-axis, would be this one, and if you take for the other values of z as well, So your parabola would something be like this and like this. So your surface would now be a paraboloid. So this is the another surface. So let me draw it quickly. So your another surface would be something like this, right? So you got an idea how does your surface look like. So whatever is inside here, inside these two surfaces and between two planes, z is equal to 0, the blue plane, and z is equal to 2, the green plane. So this whatever is this solid, we have to calculate the volume of this particular solid. This is the 3D version of what we wanted to calculate the volume. Now let me draw this in 2D to have a better view. So that means our limits for z, they would simply be from z is equal to 0 to 2, right? Because we are to move in the z direction from the plane z is equal to 0 to the plane z is equal to 2, right? So now if I draw this y and x axis like this in 2D structure, so your parabola, one parabola will move from will have this vertex 1 and another one will have the vertex as -1. So this is the parabola having equation y square is equal to 1 plus x, and you will have another parabola passing like this. So it would be, and moreover you are to calculate the points of intersection of these parabolas also, right? So this is the equation, parabola having equation y square is equal to 1 minus x. So your region of interest here is this one, right? The area which is lying in between these two parabolas. So according to that, you will have to perform the integration, right? Now for that you have to calculate what is this point and what is this point. So if you wanted to calculate the intersection of these 2 points, you have to solve this and these two parabolas equation simultaneously. So you have one equation as y square is equal to 1 minus x and another equation as y square is equal to 1 plus x. So that gives you 1 minus x is equal to 1 plus x, or you have 2x is equal to 0. So you have x is equal to 0. So obviously for x is equal to 0, you have these 2 points. And what is the value of y? If you substitute x is equal to 0, you have y square is equal to 1. So that will give you y is equal to plus minus 1. Therefore 2 points of intersection here are the points of intersection. They are 0 and plus 1, 0 and minus 1. So this point here is 0 comma plus 1, and this point here is 0 comma minus 1. So these are the points of intersection. Now what about the volume that we wanted to calculate? So you know the volume of the solid, of any solid, that is usually given by this triple integral, value of function to be taken as 1 into dx, dy and dz, and here you write the limits for x, y and z, where which defines how your surface or the solid is bounded, right? So according to that, you will have to see the limits for x, y and z. Now you already know, because in z direction you are to take the distance from this plane to this plane, so that means we are to take the limits of z as from moving from 0 to the point 2. So that is clear. Now what about x and y? For x and y, we will look at this 2D version of the figure. So we have to calculate the area of this pink portion. So that means from here we will evaluate what are the limits of x and what are the limits of y. So I can draw this horizontal line passing through this region. So I can look at what is the entering point, what is the exit point, what is the value of x at this entering point and at this exit point. So if you look at here, the value of x would be evaluated from this equation, because this is the equation of this parabola. So x would simply be equal to y square minus 1. So our lower limit is simply equal to y square minus 1 here, y square minus 1 here. And for the upper limit, this point lies on this particular parabola, therefore its equation is y square is equal to 1 minus x. So using this equation you may calculate the value of x as 1 minus y square. So this becomes your upper limit here, and corresponding to these values of x, your y varies from this point to this point. So the minimum value of y here is equal to minus 1 and the maximum value of y here is equal to plus 1. So accordingly this becomes equal to minus 1 to plus 1. So these are your limits. Now in this question I have taken this horizontal limit. You may also go for the vertical line, and then you will first write the limits for y and then for x. There is no harm in doing that. You may also proceed with that method. Now you have this expression. The task next is just to solve this particular integration, triple integration, and which is very simple. So let me write down the limits for z and y because they will be as such, and we will be solving first of all this much portion. So that means when you perform this integration, you have x, and the limits of integration, they are from y square minus 1 to 1 minus y square, and dy dz as such. So that means when you substitute the limits here, let's see what do we get. We get 1 minus y square and minus the lower limit, which is y square minus 1, and we have dy dz. So our simplified expression now becomes z is equal to 0 to 2, right? Y varies from minus 1 to 1, and here we have minus 2y, and so we have 2 times of 1 minus y square dy dz. So now we have to perform the integration with respect to y. So that would be 2 could be taken outside, so it would be y minus y cube by 3, and the limits of y, that varies from minus 1 to the point 1. So let's substitute these limits over here. So we have the integration with respect to z as such, right? So when you substitute the upper limit of 1, you have 1 minus 1 by 3, and then you substitute the lower limit, you have minus 1 plus 1 by 3, right, into dz. So when you solve this, you have 2 integration z varying from 0 to 2. This would be 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 minus 1 by 3 into dz. So when you solve this, you have z varying from 0 to 2. So this is 2 minus 2 by 3. So that means it is 8 by 3. Sorry, 2 minus 2 by 3. So it would be 4 by 3. Yes, 4 by 3 into dz. So that means this would be equal to 8 by 3 and the integration of z. So that would be 8 by 3 into z, the limits of z from 0 to 2. So that means 8 by 3 into 2 minus 0. So your final answer is 16 by 3. So but because we wanted our answer in this numerical digits rounded up to 2 decimal places, so you may divide 16 by 3, so you will get the answer as 5.33. So here the answer to this problem is 5.33. So I hope you understood this question well. Well, that is it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.